One of the more common metaphors for what video games are is that they're, quote, portals to another world. They're transportive and sweep you away to a whole new reality, characterized by freedom and vicarious thrills, voyeuristic rewards. For example, ride the horse where you want, kill the dragon, get the treasure. Part of what I love about Portal is that on one hand it takes this metaphor literally, and on the other hand, totally subverts the meaning of the metaphor. In this game, you shoot two portals, one that you go into and the other that you come out of. Beyond jumping and carrying things, this is your full list of actions. There's something liberating about the simplicity of this moveset. The possibilities of the portal gun seem endless. You can go anywhere. But Valve no sooner stokes this wonder than they frustrate it, first on a technical, then on a thematic level. Yes, you can go anywhere, but you also can only shoot portals onto certain white panels rather than harder, darker surfaces. And you can't shoot portals through glass or energy fields, or in the elevator. Now, these kinds of limits may seem to structure the portal gun's freedom. They're rules that provide order to the game and thus make playing fun. But they point to the deeper thematic confinement at work here. Why exactly are you only allowed to use the portal gun on certain panels? Actually, why do you even have a portal gun in the first place? To what end do you use it? Your test subject, Chell, at Aperture Labs, as expendable as a lab rat and subjected to a series of dangerous tests for the satisfaction of GLaDOS, the all-seeing AI who tells you what to do. Usually this just means she tells you to get to the elevator by using the portal gun. But in one scene, she commands you to kill your companion in order to progress. Sure, the companion is an inanimate cube, but the point stands. You're an interchangeable cog, a prisoner who is only still alive in order to certify the efficacy of this technology. Designed, as evidenced by PowerPoint running in an empty conference room, for military ends. Incidentally, all the other humans who used to work there have been killed by GLaDOS a while ago in a neurochemical attack. So, for most of the game, the freedom you possess is almost theoretical. You're performing more than you're doing, going anywhere but anywhere within a sequence of sterile cells. One could take this as a sort of comment on Valve's part about the futility of games as transportive magical portals. They might seem to be saying, sure, games are portals, but just a portal that spits you back out into the same room you came from. Moreover, the vicarious reward, the treasure that keeps you going, famously, is a lie. There is no cake. The promise of virtual pleasure after you've pressed the sequence of buttons the robot told you to is insultingly, hilariously, obviously a hollow promise. Having completed the tasks set before you by GLaDOS, there's nothing waiting for you but death. Again, reinforcing the idea that Valve is communicating something nihilistic about the futility of games. Portals to nothing but death, transporting you nowhere but a couple hours closer to the end. Now, some may say that what occurs in the last act of Portal puts the lie to what I've suggested so far. You choose not to be killed in the hope of getting cake. You use your portal gun in original ways in places you shouldn't be, in places GLaDOS explicitly does not want you to be. And you eventually kill GLaDOS and escape. Some may say that this conclusion is Valve arguing that the purpose of play is ultimately to outpace rules themselves, that ingenuity and innovation aren't just meaningless pastimes, but can in fact secure a sort of life-saving freedom. But I'm not convinced. If anything, I think Valve only gives the player this fleeting glimpse of freedom in order to make it hurt even more when they twist the knife in the epilogue. After you kill GLaDOS and are outside, you're pulled back in by another robot, a party escort bot, who thanks you for assuming the party escort submission position. You're then treated to a song sung by GLaDOS over the credits, in which she gloats that she's still alive, and always will be, long after you yourself are dead. The meaning of the Portal series is, of course, complexified and completed only by Portal 2, which will be the subject of another video, but taken on its own, Portal is a darkly comic and honestly chilling critique of our common fantasy of games as escapism. Valve seems to be asking, escape? Escape where? You're still always going to get pulled back in. the robot, GLaDOS, the game will always win and outlast you. You're just pushing those buttons for the benefit of some inhuman corporation. The very notion of portals, player freedom, true fun, is a lie.